All right, Todd, thank you. The story of a young Maryland driver's death and the fight her family had over insurance is something every driver in Shelby County or the Mid-South needs to pay attention to. You probably have heard about Kaitlynn Fisher because her brother's blog about the case made national headlines, and eventually it led to the insurance company's change of heart.
It's been covered everywhere, and it really has implications here. The 24-year-old Fisher had uninsured motorist insurance when she was killed by an uninsured driver. But rather than pay the claim, Progressive Insurance initially went to bat for the other driver, the one who was at fault, paying for that driver's legal defense. Because you see, if it was found that Kaitlynn was even a little bit at fault in the crash, Progressive wouldn't have had to pay the claim.
All right, so what does this case have to do with us right here in the Mid-South? A quarter of all Tennessee drivers are uninsured, and in Shelby County, that number is estimated at half of all drivers. And a little-known law passed last year makes it harder for you to take your case against an insurance company to court. Attorney Sadler Bailey sees this all the time. Bailey, welcome back to Live 9. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this. A lot of times you get in your car, you feel you're going to be as safe as possible. You feel even if you're going to be hit, hopefully that other motorist, that other driver will be insured. But how common is this problem that you have so many people out there who are not covered?
Wow, Alex, isn't that a frightening statistic that you just gave them, that they think maybe as many as half here in Shelby County of the people driving cars don't have insurance. In the state, the Insurance Research Council says Tennessee is third in the nation as far as uninsured drivers at a rate of about 24%. Okay, we're third out of third from the bottom.
Wow.
From the bottom.
Right, from the third
not
worst.
A good place to be at all.
Not a good place to be.
We, as responsible drivers, can get uninsured coverage on our policy, so I'm okay, right?
Well, and it's the most important coverage you could possibly have. This Kaitlynn Fisher thing has really garnered quite a bit of attention, and when trial lawyers have seen the story, what has struck us about it is that this is really not a unique story, not an anomaly at all. This is what happens. When you have uninsured motorist coverage in Tennessee, you think that you are buying protection. You're basically buying a promise that you will be covered if someone else is at fault and causes injury.
And doesn't have insurance, right.
And doesn't have insurance. But that's really not what happens. The insurance company takes your premium dollars and uses them to defend the person who caused the injury to you.
I'm also, though, wondering, though, I would imagine state lawmakers, those folks over in Nashville who represent us right here in Memphis and all throughout the state, they obviously have to know about this problem, but are they doing anything about it? Is this being addressed by state lawmakers?
Well, I would say what they're doing about it is they're doing everything that they possibly can to harm Tennessee's consumers, to make it easier for the insurance companies to treat the insureds the way that Kaitlynn Fisher's family was treated.
Why? A year ago, the legislature did what?
Well, we had a law called the Tennessee Consumer Protection Act, and it was held that that law applied to insurance companies. Now, what that would mean is this. If you had a bad faith claim against an insurance company in Tennessee, you could recover 3 times the amount of the claim that they did not pay when they should have, plus attorney fees.
Thus giving the insurance companies a big incentive to do the right thing.
Well, big incentive is certainly an incentive. I mean, it was a lot better than what it is now.
So the legislature removed that?
The legislature removed that. The legislature said that no longer will the Tennessee Consumer Protection Act apply to insurance companies. And so if you want to pursue a claim under the act, you would have to get the punitive claim asserted through the Attorney General. Of course, no funding was provided for that, and the Attorney Generals, as you might imagine, they got plenty to do.
So what's the possibility, though, Mr. Bailey, of reversing this? Can this be overturned? Can it be changed?
Is anyone looking at that?
Where do we stand?
It is, quite frankly, it is just about an impossible prospect. With our
Almost
current,
impossible?
It's not going to happen.
So,
the consumer-friendly politicians are not in office, okay? The Tennessee legislature is very, very pro-business, pro-insurance industry, and that's the deal. And so now our remedy is a statute. We do have a bad faith statute in Tennessee that provides for a 25% penalty. So you take the Kaitlynn Fisher case, the person who ran the red light, who caused the death of Kaitlynn Fisher, had a $25,000 policy. That insurance company paid immediately. Kaitlynn had been paying, in this case it was Progressive Insurance, she had a $100,000 underinsured motorist policy.
Right.
So under the old law in Tennessee, if the insurance company wrongfully and in bad faith did not pay the claim, then you had a potential claim of 3 times that amount,
$300,000
plus attorney fees,
okay.
which is a pretty strong motivator to make the insurance company treat people fairly.
And now under Tennessee's law, what would you have?
25% of $100,000 and 0 attorney fees.
So very quickly here before you have to wrap up, what can we as individuals do, or what do we need to look out for?
Well, what you can do is you can make sure first and foremost that you have uninsured motorist coverage. It's the most important coverage you can have in Tennessee. And often insurance companies will try to get you to sign a waiver of that. They really don't want to provide that coverage. If you are a good, safe driver, their biggest exposure would be you getting hit by the other driver. So that's the main thing you can do. And then you need a lawyer to make sure that your company treats you fairly.
Okay.
That's what needs to be done.
Wow.
All right, we appreciate your time this morning.
And write your legislator.
Write your legislature.
Maybe they'll pay attention.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
It's a frightening situation.
There is still much more to come this morning right here on News Channel 3 Live at 9. Next.